Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul with another mail call for Liberty Hill Comics. I have over 40 years experience collecting comics, and my channel is about sharing my passion and experience for comic book collecting, investing, and conservation with you. In today's mail call, I'm opening not one, but two boxes from two different vendors. And the reason why is today I'm revealing what Marvel Age blue chip investment grade comic book is just too damn cheap in this market right now. I purchased two slabs at huge discounts, well below pandemic highs. This book is too important as a Grail and as an MCU speculation book to be this cheap. So in this video, I'm going to explain why and what I think collectors and investors should do about it. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here, especially if you take time to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And let's jump right into it. Let's start with this book. This is from a well-known eBay vendor. I actually had some trouble getting this one delivered, but we sorted it out. And this was a high bid on an auction. From a very experienced seller. So even though it actually was delayed weeks getting to me, I wasn't too concerned because it was a vendor that I've purchased from before and had extremely high feedback. And in today's environment, it just doesn't make a lot of sense for people to be trying to scam people, because you lose more in your reputation than you might gain from one interaction if you're this well known as this vendor is. So I don't have any real concerns about this book. Like I said, despite it being delayed about a month getting to me, actually, from the time I won the auction to the time I actually received the book. Maybe we'll do something like this. Obviously, perfectly packaged. As I said, very experienced vendor. There it is. This is just for starters, boys and girls. Strange Tales number 11040 in off-white pages, just to get started. Let's set that here. And we'll get working on the next package. This package is from Lone Star Comics. As you know, I somewhat frequently purchase from them. They're not exactly my go-to vendor, but because they offer a lot of books on consignment and also because they turn their inventory over quickly, they often have some pretty fair prices. They have discount codes on a regular basis. And so I do find myself purchasing books from them regularly. As you have heard me say before, they're consummate professionals, so this book is going to be a box within a box, I'm sure of it. Here we go. Dobby will clean all this up later. Don't worry about it at all. Here we go. Second box. And these usually are hinged right here. So we're going to be able to open this up right here. There we go. Let's remove this. In fact, we have the old triple box from Lone Star this time. It's very nice receiving books from professionals who know what they're doing. Package books appropriately. You get what you paid for, and just protects the books from any inadvertent damage I'm going to pull this one right out of this inner bag. Wow. That's a beauty. Let's let this one bask in the full light of day as well. Man, is this an embarrassment of riches or what? Wow. I am fortunate indeed to be the caretaker of these two beauties. Well, as I like to say, what is it and why do we care? This is Strange Tales number 110 in CGC 6.0 with off-white pages. And this is Strange Tales number 110 in CGC 4.0, also with off-white pages. It's the June 1963 issue with a Jack Kirby cover and the lead Human Torch story written by Stan Lee and penciled by Dick Ayers. But it's most notable for the 5-page backup story titled Doctor Strange, Master of Black Magic. The first appearance of Doctor Strange, the Ancient One, Wong, and their nemesis Nightmare. It's also the first appearance of several important locations: the Dream Dimension, the Ancient One's hidden temple, and Doctor Strange's now famous Sanctum Sanctorum. It is also the first appearance of the Eye of Agomotto. In these 5 pages, Stan Lee and Steve Dikto lay the foundation for Doctor Strange tales for the next 60 years. To put this book in context, let's do a quick comic book history recap. Remember that comic books generally, and superhero comics specifically, had been in decline since the end of World War II, and the entire industry had been nearly destroyed by the publication of Seduction of the Innocent in 1954 and the subsequent Senate Subcommittee on Juvenile Delinquency hearings. After the establishment of the resultant Comics Code Authority and heavy censorship of comic books, many comic book companies went out of business, and only 3 superhero comics continued to be published in the late 1950s. DC's Big 3, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. But from these ashes rose what we call today the Silver Age of comic books, which was kicked off in 1956 at DC Comics with a reimagined Flash for a new era, with a new science fiction origin in Showcase Comics number 4. Over the next 4 years, DC reintroduced a cast of superheroes and assembled them into the Justice League of America in Brave and the Bold number 28, which was published in March of 1960. At the time, Marvel was publishing no superhero titles, but Martin Goodman, publisher of Marvel Comics and Stan's boss, told Stan that he heard superhero comics were hot again and to start pumping them out. Stan Lee first launched with Jack Kirby a new superhero team, the Fantastic Four, in their own new title in November of 1961. The first appearance of Hank Pym was next in January of 1962 in Tales to Astonish number 27, another Stan and Jack collaboration, but he wasn't the Ant-Man just yet. Stan and Jack then co-created The Incredible Hulk, published in his own new book in May of 1962, not yet really a superhero either, more of an atomic age Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde tale. He then turned to Steve Ditko to collaborate on the first appearance of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15, published in August of 1962, and that same month he and Jack Kirby introduced Thor to the world when he debuted in Journey into Mystery number 83. In October of 1962, they decided to give the Human Torch a shot at a solo book, and made him the headliner of Strange Tales, starting with issue number 101. Then, in March of 1963, Marvel published Tales of Suspense number 39, the first appearance of Iron Man, who was an immediate hit and headlined that book until its end with issue number 99 in 1968. Then they published this book, Strange Tales number 110, June of 1963, prior to the publication of Avengers number 1 and X-Men number 1, which both were published the same month, September of 1963. The last big introduction of the Marvel Age was Matt Murdock and Company in Daredevil number 1, published in April of 1964. The introduction of Doctor Strange and Company is only 5 pages in the telling. It kicks off with this splash page by the incomparable Steve Dikto, who defined the look of Doctor Strange and gave us all those great psychedelic images over the next 3 years. Steve Dikto left the book with issue number 146 when he left Marvel in July of 1966. In this first page, we are introduced to a man who suffers from nightmares. He seeks the help of Doctor Strange, and we get our first view of the Sanctum Sanctorum in Greenwich Village, and Wong, who is unnamed at this point. Doctor Strange agrees to investigate and tells the man he will visit him that night. His metaphysical spirit leaves his body in New York City to visit his master, the Ancient One, in his hidden temple in Asia, and we learn the Ancient One is nearing the end of his life before Doctor Strange returns to his Sanctum Sanctorum. Upon entering the man's nightmare in his metaphysical spirit form, Doctor Strange learns that he is tormented by his spirit because of an evil deed, and we are introduced to Nightmare, master of the dream dimension. We learn that Nightmare is Doctor Strange's ancient foe, and he vows Doctor Strange's demise. The victim of Nightmare awakes, and, realizing that Doctor Strange now knows of his past misdeeds, decides to kill Doctor Strange in his trance-like state. Nightmare obliges him by keeping Doctor Strange in the dream dimension, but Doctor Strange mentally contacts the Ancient One, who is able to activate the Eye of Agomotto to put Stephen's attacker in a trance. Doctor Strange uses the opportunity to slip back to his own realm and relieves the man of his gun. The man agrees to confess his prior crimes, and that wraps up Doctor Strange's first appearance. There are 1,950 universal copies of Strange Tales number 110 in the CGC Census, with a median grade of only 4.5. And that makes this 6.0 copy just inside the 30th percentile. A CGC 6.0 has a fair market value of $4,800 plus shipping and taxes, and a 12-month trailing average of $5,014, with an all-time high of $11,400. A CGC 4.0 has a fair market value of $2,900 plus shipping and taxes, and a 12-month trailing average of $3,175, with an all-time high of $6,600. So both of these books are discounted right now by over 50% from their record highs. I paid $4,500 plus shipping and taxes on the 6.0 from mycomicshop.com, waiting for a coupon that applied for $100 off, making this purchase about $300 under current fair market value. I won the 4.0 in an eBay auction for $2,605 plus shipping and taxes, which is also about $300 under current fair market value. These prices are approximately 60% discount to the all-time high on this key book. That's a great entry point on this blue chip book from the early Marvel age. When you consider that Doctor Strange will star in another MCU movie that will provide further catalysts for this book, I think it is too cheap not to purchase copies of this book right now and hold on to them for the long term. I hope you enjoyed this video on this blue chip Marvel Silver Age key. Anyone else been waiting for the right time to acquire a copy of this book? Where do you think the investment potential of this book is? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, happy hunting and take care of one another.